You ever wanted to make lasagna but you've run out of pasta sheets? You could make your own, but let's use crepes. Hi there guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making lasagna, but instead of using pasta, we're going to use crepes. One of the most important parts to lasagna is the bolognese sauce. So let's start with dicing up half a white onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 whole tomatoes with this annoyingly unsharpened knife. Then into a very hot pan, add some olive oil before you throw in 400 grams of minced beef. We're going to season with salt and cook this off until it gets a nice brown colour. Before adding the onions, and then cooking out for a couple of minutes. Then the garlic and 2 bay leaves. We're going to cook this until all the water released from the meat has disappeared before adding in our tomatoes. And then we're going to add in half a can of crushed tomatoes and then half a can of tomato sauce. Give that a good stir and bring it back up to the boil. Then add a splash of soy sauce and then reduce the heat to a light simmer. And then cook on low for about an hour to an hour and a half to get that meat nice and tender. And now onto the crepes. We're going to crack 3 large eggs into a jug and then give that a blitz before adding 600 milliliters of milk and 50 grams of melted butter. Season with a good pinch of salt, and then we're going to add a spoonful at a time 500 grams of flour. Make sure the flour is incorporated into the mixture before adding any more. And then we're going to ladle straight into a hot pan with a touch of olive oil. Roll the pan around so your mixture covers the whole of the bottom of the pan. You'll know it's cooked on one side when you move the pan and it starts to swirl around, so it's ready for flipping. So tilt the pan away from you and with the wrist, give it a good flip and a little prayer. Now look at that, that's a beautiful colour. First time as well. Then once you have your beautiful stack of crepes, put them to one side to cool down. And I'm going to add a layer of roast aubergine in this crepe lasagna. So slice up your aubergine, lay them out onto a baking tray with a greaseproof paper, give them a good season with salt, pepper and olive oil, and we're going to cook these at 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. Look how beautiful they are. Now on to the other most important part of lasagna, the white sauce. Start with 2 eggs in a mixing bowl and give them a good whisk. Now I wanted the creamy texture more like a tiramisu, so I decided to use mascarpone. So we're going to add 600 grams of mascarpone cheese and give that a good whisk. Then 100 milliliters of cream, some black pepper and a generous grating of parmesan cheese, the real stuff. Don't forget to season with a touch of salt. Then give that a good fold together so it's all nice and smooth. Then grab yourself a baking tray. And we're going to use the little trick where we fold the greaseproof paper into a triangle, measure it against the centre of the cake tin, and then trim off the excess and you'll have a perfect circle for the base. Then it's time to start layering up. First, a crepe, then the beautiful bolognese sauce, another crepe, then the white cheese sauce. Then we're literally just going to be layering this thing up with the crepes in between, but don't forget your aubergines. And don't forget to add an extra layer of grated cheese through the middle. And then to finish this off, we will be adding a lot of parmesan on the top to try and get it nice and crispy. So once it's ready, we're going to stick it in the oven, 180 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes, or until the top is beautifully golden brown, just like this. And I advise you let this cool completely, then reheat it. The flavour will be so much better. But when you're ready to remove it from the tin, just run a knife around the edge just to make sure nothing's stuck. And then when you remove the tin, you can see all them layers from the outside. And just look when you cut into it, that beautiful sauce, so creamy. And in the close-up, you can see the layers, the crepes all the way through it, the beautiful bolognese, the creamy cheese sauce, and you can just about make out them aubergines as well. This was an amazing way to take something that should be sweet and make it savoury. It added a completely different texture to the lasagna. It was like a spongy cakiness. It was delicious. Oh, look at that. It got another fork wag of approval. If you like this video, drop a comment, subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.